Tarik Ramadan comes from one of the most famous families in the Islamic world. His grandfather was Hassan al-Banna, the founder of the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. I asked Ramadan whether his family history might confuse people hearing his call about Islam and reform. Further ask you about your personal background, because you are the grandson of Hassan al-Banna, the founder of the Muslim Brotherhood, which did usher in a period of Salafism, of extremism, of belief in a very strict version of Sharia and Islamic law. You've also not fully condemned a certain cleric who in 2003 talked about the rationalization for women as suicide bombers. And there are people...
Please,
no,
please, no.
No, but there are people here who are very confused about how to judge what you believe and what you're talking about and what you're trying to preach about Islam and reform.
If you want to judge someone, you read what he is writing and you look at what he's doing, and you don't come with, oh, your grandfather, it was said. Because first, what is said about, you know, my grandfather in a specific period of time in the 30s and the 40s was not what is said now, and we have to be very cautious to look at, for example, the Muslim Brotherhood is something which has to be historically contextualized. This is one. The second, I'm not living in Egypt. I live and I was born and raised in Europe, and I am producing a thought for my time. I want to be judged on this. So anyone who is telling you I was not clear in suicide bombings, for example, or targeting innocent, he is wrong or she is wrong. This never happened. My position on this is the Palestinian resistance or the Iraqi resistance is legitimate. The means should be ethical. You cannot target innocent people. You cannot target civilians. I was always clear. If so much mistrust is shedding on what I'm saying, what does it mean? Is it revealing something about me or about the state of affairs within the society which is spreading around suspicion?
You're nodding, James Ogby. Is it revealing about Tarik Ramadan or about the state of the society that we live in?
Listen, after President Obama spoke in Cairo, I remember I was actually on your network, and then I did another. And the reactions that his speech received from American conservatives was shocking. I said at the end, in answer to a question, will President Obama make change in people's attitudes? I said, among Muslims, yes, but I'm not so sure he's going to win over American conservatives. There is a problem, and Tarik is absolutely right. And the problem's here, and I think President Obama has correctly identified his mission as president both ways. It's to create American understanding of the Muslim world as well as Muslim understanding of America. We got a problem here. What is said about him is said about me. I'm a Maronite Catholic who, after I spoke at the Department of Justice's 40th anniversary of the civil rights, signing of the Civil Rights Bill, bloggers writing for fairly respectable sites said jihadist or Hezbollah supporter or Wahhabi supporter, Holder's buddy is a Wahhabist. I mean, how nonsensical is that? And yet that is the poison that spreads and really begins to define myself and Tarik and others in very unfair ways.
Okay, but do you think those are in the more, some might say, the creepy, loony corners of the blogosphere, or do you think this is something that is a real obstacle towards understanding in the majority of the country?
Not in the majority, but in a significant enough group of elites who begin to define and put it in print and then make some people in politics hesitant to be able to speak out. Listen, when you had Barack Obama's opponents, mainstream Democrats and the Republican nominee, questioning his being a real American, not just his birth, but yes, ma'am, no, he's not an Arab, he's a decent human being, that stuff sticks, and it means that we have leadership that has failed to address these issues.
Okay, so you're here, Tarik Ramadan, to try to fix this. Can you do anything, do you think, that'll make a difference in these speeches that you're going to deliver, in these public appearances?
At least I'm trying to do something which is to speak about the new we. the new we, it's you and me, in the same of our common values and principles, to come together and to nurture around a sense of belonging. Because at the end of the day, what is very important for American Muslims to feel at home and to contribute in a critical way, constructive way, exactly for Europeans. And we all have to understand as citizens that this is a very, very imperative responsibility if we want to be able to talk to Muslim majority countries and to Muslims around the world. So the speech of Obama talking to Americans is very important, but us together at our level, we should be much more committed to change these mentalities of victimhood.
It's a discussion that's going to go on for a long time, clearly. Tarik Ramadan, James Zogby, thank you both so much for joining me.
Thank you.